Broadcasting live from the Meridics via OBS Studio Broadcast Center at Centennial Sportsplex. This is GNASH Hockey on the Middle Tennessee Sports Network as we get ready to bring you the second game in our doubleheader this evening. Franklin-BGA and Independence both playing their third game in this first phase of the regular season. Franklin-BGA with 2 draws and Indy with 2 losses. Franklin are guaranteed to stay ahead of Centennial after tonight, but Indy with a win would go ahead of the Cougars as well in Tier 1 after Centennial just lost to Ravenwood as they lose 9-3. So the Tier 1 standings after that game, Ravenwood now leading at 2-0. Brentwood at second with 1 win and 1 draw. Montgomery Bell third at 1-0. Franklin fourth with 2 draws. Pope Prep CPA GCA and Mount Juliet Green Hill Lebanon each with 1 draw. Centennial now 0-2-1, 2 losses and a draw, and Independence are 0-2. Let's talk about the 2 teams playing in this game. First, Franklin-BGA, still coached by Todd Gross. And this is the first time we're seeing the Admirals this season, so we need to go more in depth on them, how things have changed for them. They were Franklin Hume Fogg BGA last year. They have 2 Hume Fogg players left. Their leading scorer, Matt Yurjevich, is back for his final season, but their second and third leading scorers, Jet Wilson and Carter Cranford, both graduated. Fourth leading scorer, Gavin Akers, is back for his junior year. McLean Butters, the 5th leading scorer, back for his junior year. Thomas Keeley, the 6th leading scorer, graduated, but they have brought back Quinn Loesch, Cale Lewis. Quinn Loesch is the only BGA player on the roster, but he was a Franklin student last year, so he transferred during the summer. Grant Hayes, back for his junior year. Casper Thurston, back for his sophomore year. Preston Kimbrough and Roman Chernitsky, the two Hume Fogg players who are both seniors, back for their final year. Nick Gaka graduated. Alex Stanley graduated. So Franklin losing a lot of key members of that 2020 Hein Cup winning team. But they also lost their goaltender, Abby Tanner. She moved to the Washington, D.C. area during the offseason to play for the Washington Pride, a prominent girls travel program. So her time in GNASH is done. She was backed up last year by a lottery goalie from the Outlaws, Grayson Aram. And Franklin, since they lost their 1 permanent goalie, have to rely on 2 lottery goalies this year. Jacob Benoit, brought over from the Outlaws. He goes to Madison Academy. He's a sophomore. And Garen Darby, who was brought over from the Rutherford Rampage. He goes to Central Magnet. He's also a sophomore, brought over in the lottery. Darby played last year alongside his Outlaw teammate Sam Hill for Station Camp Summit Page and helped them win the Hein Cup. And that was the first time in GNASH history that a team ever won a GNASH trophy of any kind with lottery goaltenders. And now Garen Darby is playing with Franklin-BGA. Well, Franklin, in their 2 games so far this season, have tied them both. Last week, they tied Centennial 3-3. And then on Monday, looked like they were going to beat Mount Juliet. Check and see who it was for Mount Juliet. Until, come on, Parker Triplett scored with 13 seconds left to force the game to end in an 8-8 tie. So here are Franklin's player stats after their first 2 games of the season. Matt Yurjevich, the team's leading scorer, with 4 points from 2 goals and 2 assists. Gavin Akers with 3 points from goals. Brandon Mills with 2 points from goals. Casper Thurston and Cale Lewis each with 2 points from a goal and an assist. Quinn Loesch and McLean Butters each with a point from a goal. Grant Hayes and Michael Mannion each with a point from an assist. On to goalie play, Garen Darby played in the entirety of the game last week against Centennial, and he played in some of the game. I think he started the game against Mount Juliet last week, or back on Monday. They're showing his record is 0-0-2. He's played 56 minutes, goals against average of 3.75. He's allowed 5 goals on 21 shots and turned away the other 16. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .760. Actually, he and Jacob Benoit, no, they're showing Benoit is playing in only one game. I guess it was the game on Monday. I guess Benoit started that game on Monday. He's allowed 6 goals on 11 shots and turned away the other 5. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .450. Let me just check his stats real quick. Yeah, he played 28 minutes against Mount Juliet and allowed 5 goals. So I guess they brought in Darby to finish out the game. So let's talk about Independence, coached by Guy Brooks, 0-2. Last Wednesday, they lost 9-2 to Ravenwood. And then on Monday, they only lost 4-1 to MBA. I watched them on the Big Red Broadcasting. Jack Behringer did a really good job in goal, but Lee Guy had a hat trick for the Big Red, and Cooper Green scored the other goals. So here are Independence's stats through 2 games. Once those stats come up, God. Ben Howard is the team's leading scorer. He has 2 points. And Rizzardi, who had the lone goal for Indy on Monday, and Mason Brooks each have a point from a goal, and Landrick Majewski has a point from an assist. On to goalie play. Jack Behringer played on Monday against MBA and lost. Allowed 4 goals and 27 shots, turned away the other 23. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .850. Trent Pavlik played last week in the game against Ravenwood and lost. Allowed 9 goals on 33 shots and turned away the other 24. His save percentage in the regular season so far is .730. Nolensville and the Outlaws should be getting close to the third period by now. While the game between USN and Summit should have started by now over on Rink B here at Centennial. As both teams are out on the ice warming up. And do we have the officials out here? I know I saw one putting the nets in place. I think they might be in the box. Next week, there are only 2 games in all of GNASH because everybody else is on fall break. It's the other 4 teams in Tier 2 that are still sitting at the starting line. They're both here on Rink A. Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on Rutherford Rampage. 7:10 will be on the air at 7 o'clock. And then 8:40, Hendersonville Beach taking on Father Ryan will be on the air for that one at 8:30. Or we'll start coverage of that one at 8:30. It's going to be real interesting to see who Indy decide to put in net. They played Pavlik and they played Behringer. They have a third-string goalie, catcher Grayson, who's Jax Grayson's younger brother. All 3 goalies are dressed. So Guy Brooks is his pick of the lot. Pavlik talking with catcher Grayson, so it looks like it's going to be catcher Grayson starting this one. So all 3 Indy goalies have gotten a start in their first 3 games of the season. Yeah, catcher Grayson with the Gushers logo all over his mask. Garen Darby going to start in goal for Franklin. So Grayson and Darby, the goalie matchup. This first period, Indy will move the puck from my left to right and Franklin from my right to left. Again, if Indy win this game, they'll jump Centennial in the table in Tier 1. They'll move to 1 and 2 and put Centennial down in 8th place. Franklin, with a win, will have 1 win and 2 draws from their first 3 games and be in good shape to stay in Tier 1 for the 3rd phase of the regular season. As the game is underway, puck in the Franklin zone. Ryder McDonald left point. Off to Wyatt Lutkins in the left half wall. Try to pass across, stolen and cleared out by Aiden Murphy, one of the many freshmen in this Franklin team. Murphy, a Franklin student. Puck behind the Indy net. Matt Yurjevich with it now for the Admirals. Yurjevich behind the net. Passing it off for Casper Thurston, who tried to put it in front for Brandon Mills, but Mills couldn't get a stick on it. Now Thurston, right circle, a shot turned away by catcher Grayson. So his first test, he passes. As Camden Rumo brings the puck out to center for Indy. Banks it off the far boards into the Franklin zone. Puck sent back into the Independence end. Evan McAllister on the near side. Puck chopped off his stick, put in front. Nice play by Oscar Dubon to keep it off the stick of Quinn Loesch. Again, Loesch, the only BGA player on this Franklin roster. He transferred from Franklin to BGA over the summer. His little brother Hudson is playing for the team this year. He is a homeschooled freshman zone for Franklin. Rhett Gordon sends the puck back into the Franklin zone. It's stolen and brought out by Gavin Akers. Now Quinn Lotion taken away by Gordon inside the Indy zone. Gordon behind the net, battling with Loesch, who puts the puck out in front. Oh, and Torrin Kimball keeps it away from McLean Butters, who would have been going right to the net. Now Gavin Akers with a takeaway on Kimball. And then Akers falls over Rhett Gordon, and we get a whistle and a cross-checking call against somebody. That brings play to a stop after the first minute and 51 seconds, and it's Gavin Akers who's going to the box. No, there's no penalty. Well, then what was the whistle for? I guess a hand pass or something? Draw's going to be to the left of Grayson, so it's still 5-on-5. No, wait, it's 5-on-4. It's Gordon in the box. So Rhett Gordon got called for the cross-check. So Franklin are on the power play, and a shot by Michael Mannion turned away by catcher Grayson from in tight. Puck on the far wall and cleared out by Wyatt Lutkins. It's back in the Franklin zone. Camden Rumo beats, I think it was Quinn Spencer to it. But now the Admirals come up with it. A.J. Novak with it at center for Indy. Over to Wyatt Lutkins, off his stick to the far side. Oh, and Ryan Hoverson overskated it. And then actually Ryan Hoverson left it behind, and then McLean Butters overskated. Butters would have had room down the right wing side of the Indy zone. Puck back in the Franklin zone, taken away and brought out by Matt Yurjevich. Yurjevich, puck knocked off his stick by Wyatt Lutkins. He gets it back in the right circle. Tried to drop it back for Michael Mannion, but it was stolen away and cleared. Matt Yurjevich wore number 88 last year, but for his final years, there's a minute left in the power play for Franklin. He switched to number 71 as the Admirals end up icing the puck. He switched to number 71, the same number his older brother Nick wore when he played for Franklin. Of course, the Yurjevich brothers were on the roster. Both the Yurjevich brothers were on the roster when Franklin won the Heinz Cup in 2020, but now there's another Yurjevich brother on the Franklin team, Josh, freshman defenseman. So after Matthew graduates this season, the Yurjevich name will still be on the Franklin squad for another few years at least. Puck out in front, a shot from Grant Hayes hit off the bottom bar on the outside of the right-hand side of the net. Puck in the left wing corner. Under now 30 seconds left of the power play for Franklin. And the puck cleared by Ben Howard. But sent back into the Indy zone, past the net. Here's Grant Hayes backhanding it up the far boards. Held in at the right point by Josh Yurjevich. Across to Hudson Loesch at the left point. Hudson Loesch shot. Oh, it's in. It floated in. Gavin McAllister screen catcher Grayson, who drifted to his right, and the puck ends up in the back of the net. And it's Hudson Loesch's goal. I believe the power play had expired by the time the puck went in. It's 1-0 Franklin with 10:10 to go in the first. Yeah, it was an innocent little line drive shot from Loesch. It wasn't very hard, but Evan McAllister drifted across. He wasn't right in front of Grayson. He slid across his viewing point, or his vantage point, from inside the left circle while Grayson was drifting further and further to his right, and the puck went in. Here comes Hudson Loesch back into the Indy zone, trying to center. Pass intercepted by Landrick Majewski. Ryan Hoverson. Oh, Majewski had to go off his stick. Cole Pointer off to Loesch. Loesch a shot, took a bounce and was blockered away by Grayson. Puck comes out to the blue line. Hudson Loesch again, going to dump it. Nolan Larrabee wanted a centering pass. He whiffed on it. Ryan Hoverson with a puck now. Puck comes out to the far boards. Preston Kimbrough Sending it back down low behind the net. Sent around to the near side boards by Bryson Patton. Puck out at center. Majewski having it pushed away by Akers. Nolan Larrabee back in the Indy zone. His shot would have gone over the net, but catcher Grayson sticks up the glove and hangs on to it for the whistle. Well, 8:52 to go in the first, and Franklin up 1-0. Nolan Larrabee, freshman, homeschooled but zoned for Franklin. Does the Vanguard Virtual High School. It was set up by Williamson County Schools. Puck put out in front. High slot Gavin Akers backing up towards the left wing boards. Now he takes a shot, and it went over the net. I wonder if it caught Jax Grayson's stick and went over. Puck out on the far side. Oh, and Matt Yurjevich couldn't get a stick on it as Casper Thurston tried to pass it off. Here's Wyatt Lutkins poking it into the Franklin zone. Gavin Akers with it, sending it around the boards to the near side. Brandon Mills trying to get it out. Camden Rimo keeping it alive on the right wing side. And, it goes across the front of the Franklin net. Here's Ben Howard with it, passing up to the left point. And A.J. Novak back down the wall to Rimo, and it knocked off his stick. Casper Thurston trying to pass it up the far side. It goes out to center, but only as far as Novak. Wyatt Lutkins dumps it back in from the red line on the near side. Puck hops out in front. Here's Matt Yurjevich sending it back into the Indy zone. Oscar Dubon with it. Dropping it over to A.J. Novak. Novak. Pass across. It's out at center. Getting knocked off the puck was Brody Marchie. Puck back in the Franklin zone. Admirals bringing it out. It's back in the Indy zone, immediately cleared out by Evan McAllister. Dylan Rizzardi ahead for Rhett Gordon. Cross ice pass back into the Franklin zone. Behind the net, Torrin Kemble. Comes out to the left wing side. Evan McAllister calling for it to the blue line, but turning and shooting was Kemble, and I believe it missed the net. Puck out on the near side, passed up to the right point. Evan McAllister's tried to send it back down low. It's intercepted and brought out. McLean Butters, left wing side of the Indy zone, a shot gloved and held onto by catcher Grayson. 6:34 to go in the first, and Franklin up 1-0. Draw is to the right of catcher Grayson. Draw one by Indy. Braden Sizapaniak at center. Puck taken away from him by, looked like Nolan Larrabee, but Sizapaniak gets it back as it's in the Franklin zone on the far side. It'll be skated out. Now McLean Butters, left wing side of the Indy zone. Left wing corner, trying to put it in front. Oh, and Michael Mannion sent it across the front of the net. Puck held in at the right point by Brody Marchie. Now Butters had it taken away by Landrick Majewski, who tried to take it out. Now Marchie holding it in at the right point, trying to get it over to Hudson Loesch, but it's cleared out by Bryson Patton back into the Franklin zone. Icing waved off. Puck sent around to the near side boards. Puck out on the far side. Still in the Franklin zone. Picked up and cleared. No, held in. Sizapaniak. And then Majewski had it taken away. Now there's Michael Mannion inside the Indy zone. Going over to the far boards, passing it over to Hudson Loesch, who has the only goal of the game. Loesch down the right wing boards, dropping it down to Butters, back to Loesch. Loesch in the goal line, below the right circle shot. Hit the outside of the far post. Now here's Butters in the left wing. Had that puck taken away by Camden Rimo. Rimo clearing it out, but intercepted at center by Hudson Loesch, and now brought back in on the right wing side by Cole Pointer, whose shot missed the net. Here's Owen McGroarty. Now Grant Hayes shoots it over the net from the left circle. Hayes. Oh, had the puck taken away and cleared out by Ryder McDonald. Now Ben Howard back in the Franklin zone. Right wing side, a shot turned away by Garen Darby. Puck sent towards the front of the net, but intercepted and cleared by the Admirals. It's back in the Indy zone, picked up by Jax Grayson, but his drop back pass stolen. Grant Hayes across to McGroarty, stopped by catcher Grayson, who got over in time and hangs on for the whistle. With 4:13 to go in the first and keeping it 1-0 Franklin. Draw is to the right of catcher Grayson, won by Franklin. Aiden Murphy, a shot glanced off the outside of the right-hand post. Now here's Oscar Dubon clearing it out. Puck sent back into the Indy zone. Evan McAllister deep for Dubon. Now Dylan Rizzardi. Tried to pass, went off the skates of Nolan Larrabee, and Oscar Dubon almost overskated it. McAllister on the far boards. Larrabee keeps it alive. Flips it towards the front of the net, but unable to get a stick on it was Preston Kimbrough, and the puck is cleared. Dribbling towards the Franklin net. It looked like it was going to go past, but Garen Darby deflected it away just to be safe. Here's Gavin Akers, Akers through center into the Indy zone. Puck knocked off his stick in the slot. Larrabee, a shot off the right leg pad of Grayson. Dylan Rizzardi now clears it, but it hit the body of Roman Chernitsky out at center. Oh, and then Larrabee and Kimbrough run into each other, crossing paths. Puck dumped back into the Indy zone. McAllister with it. Puck out on the far boards. Casper Thursson backhands it to the inboards. Here's Gavin Akers keeping the puck alive at the right point as Rhett Gordon tried to clear. Now Dubon. Dubon behind his own net. Backhanding it around to the near side. Brendan Mills intercepts. Passes out high. Akers, a slap shot, blockered into the netting above the glass by catcher Grayson. With 2:33 to go in the first, and Franklin still up 1-0. Draw will be to Grayson's left. Won by Franklin. Sent towards the net, actually past the net by Brody Marchie. Puck out on the far side at center. And Marchie with it just inside his own zone across. Now ahead for Matt Yurjevich. Yurjevich left wing side of the Indy zone. Could not get around Hoverson and Patton. Now Yurjevich carrying it around to the far side. Drops it back down low for Casper Thursson. Thurston tried to come out in front. Puck in the slot and picked up by Jake Hill and brought out. Jacob Hill getting the puck around to the far boards of the Franklin zone. Quinn Spencer. Now Yurjevich on the far side. Clears it out and chases it center. Picks it up as a 2-on-1 with Brandon Mills. Yurjevich shooting the right wing, score! Off the right-hand post and in. Matt Yurjevich makes it 2-0 Franklin with 96 seconds left in the first. Oh, catcher Grayson's water bottle sitting on the ice. They're telling him to put it back and sit it back on top of the net, and he does so we can resume play. Draw one by Franklin. Here's McLean Butters. Left circle, a shot stopped and held onto by catcher Grayson. Cross to the right of Grayson. One by Franklin. It's out in front of the net and a backhander wide from Quinn Loesch. Here's Camden Rimo at center now. Into the Franklin zone. Crossing to the left wing side. A backhander missed the net to the right of Garen Darby. And then the puck put off of Darby's left leg pad on the rebound try. And then a shot from Jax Grayson missed the net. Puck over on the near side. 1 minute left in the first. Here is Michael Mannion, left wing side of the Indy zone. Around the back of the net, out to the right wing. Passing up to the right point. And Josh Yurjevich tried to give it back, and then he had to move down to take the puck away from Ben Howard. He thought he was going to have to give it back to Mannion, but Mannion skated past him. Puck sent towards the net, turned away by Grayson. That coming from Quinn Loesch. Here's Josh Yurjevich, right point. Back down to Mannion. Trying to get it back to Butters, but his pass stolen and carried out by Camden Rimo. 25 seconds left of the period. Rimo, right wing side of the Franklin zone. Sending it across the front of the net. Wyatt Lutkins didn't get there in time. Here's McLean Butters. Back into the Indy zone, 2-on-1 maybe with Mannion. Butters to the net, a backhander. Oh, he hit the outside netting on the far side. Time running out. Puck back in the Franklin zone. Caught up to by Cole Pointer, and that's going to be it for the first. Hudson Loesch scoring on a little floater that looked like it was going to be saved by catcher Grayson, but Evan McAllister moved through his vantage point while Grayson was drifting further and further to his right, and then the puck winded up in the back of the net. And then Matt Yurjevich, the senior, putting one in the back of the net off the inside of the right-hand post. And it's Franklin-BGA up 2-0 on Indy at the end of one. Should be getting closer to the end of the Nolensville Outlaws game. Ready to go for the second period. Franklin O'Parrott carried the puck from my left to right, Indy from my right to left. Second period is underway with Franklin having the puck off the draw. Catcher Grayson still in goal. There's a shot. Score! Grant Hayes just 15 seconds into the period, beating Grayson from the left wing, and it is 3-0 Franklin. 13:45 to go in the second. Puck in the Indy zone. Right out by Torrin Kemble, but he's triple teamed. Dylan Rosardi backhanding it into the Franklin zone, but nobody in a white sweater's there. Gavin Akers with the puck. Stepping out to center. Back into the Indy zone. He's out in front, a shot. Turned away by catcher Grayson. Played a full minute of this second. Franklin have already scored here in the second to go up 3-0. Aiden Murphy at the left point trying to pass the puck down the wall. It was blocked and cleared out by Ryan Hoverson. Rhett Gordon, right wing side of the Franklin zone, going to dump it into the left wing corner for Hoverson. Hoverson sending it over to the far side. Gavin Akers flipping it ahead to center, and here on a breakaway is Cole Pointer, and he scores. Cole Pointer fires it in off the inside of the left-hand post, and it's 4-0 Franklin with 12:27 left in the second. So Pointer, the Franklin junior, putting his team up by 4. Indy with a puck inside their zone. Already down 4-0 here in the second, early in the second. Puck knocked off the stick of Bryson Patton as he brought it into the Franklin zone, and it was cleared. Oscar Dubon. Oh, whiffed, trying to pass it up the ice. Preston Kimbrough sends it back into the Indy zone, but he got hit by Dubon, and he's drawn a penalty, an interference call. Things just getting worse for Indy. Now they have a man in the box again. Franklin back on the power play, up 4-0 with 11:45 left in the second. Draw going to be to the left of catcher Grayson. Here's Matt Yurjevich with the puck as Franklin win the draw up to the left point. Now Gavin Akers center point. Back down Yurjevich left circle. Shot, score. It took 11 seconds for Franklin to convert the power play as Matt Yurjevich scores his second of the game. And Indy have scored 3 in the first 2 minutes, 25 seconds of the second to go up. Franklin have scored 3 in the first 2 minutes and 25 seconds of the second to go up 5-0. They're not making things easy for catcher Grayson, and their defense is stifling Indy on the other side. There's a shot from Brandon Mills that misses the net. That would have made it 6. Puck out at center. Wyatt Lutkins had it tapped away from him. It's in the Franklin zone. Brandon Mills banking it off the far boards and out. Casper Thurston ahead to Yurjevich. Matt Yurjevich, left wing side of the Indy zone, a shot. I think it took a deflection and went across the front of the net. Brandon Mills finding room. He's over to the left circle, a shot. Hit a stick, the stick of Ryder McDonald, I think, and went into the netting above the glass. 10:48 left in the second. Franklin already up 5-0 on Indy. It was 2-0, and now they have scored 3 early on here in the second. Draw is to the right of catcher Grayson. Won by Franklin. Quinn Spencer, left circle, a shot. It was deflected. Puck out on the far side. McLean Butters backhanding it over. And Quinn Loesch, a one-timer, missed the net to the left of Grayson. And Michael Mannion took a bump on the left side. Left wing side. Rhett Gordon trying to clear the puck out. It's held in by Mannion and sent over to the far side. Evan McAllister will get to it and clear for Indy. Quinn Spencer passing up the far wall. Quinn Loesch, left wing side of the Indy zone. Around the back of the net. Passing up to the right point. Brody Marchie, a shot, missed the net. Puck cleared out. Here's Rhett Gordon into the Franklin zone. Double team, puck taken off him. And here goes Quinn Loesch through center. Right wing side of the Indy zone. Moving to the net. Backhanded across. It's in. Looked like it may have gone off of Grayson in its way, but both Loesch brothers have a goal in this game as Quinn makes it 6-0 with 9:32 to go in the second. Indy, the board says 3 shots, but it should be 4. They never counted that breakaway save Garen Darby made on Ben Howard. Centering pass for Owen McGroarty missed his stick as Franklin are a goal away from putting us in the running clock. We're not even halfway through the game. Josh Yurjevich, puck out on the far side. Landrick Majewski takes a bump, and as the puck taken away, Hudson Loesch into the Indy zone. Rounded defender in front, and his shot is stopped and held onto by catcher Grayson. A big breakaway save, a mini breakaway save by Grayson to keep it 6-0 with 8:44 left in the second. Draw one by Franklin. Puck sent past the net from the left wing boards. And we have a hit on the near side. It's going to be a penalty against Josh Yurjevich. Got a hit in on Jacob Hill. It's interference, and Indy are going to be on the power play for the first time. Down 6-0 with 8:35 to go in the second. Draw is going to be to Garen Darby's right. I think it's the first time in the whole game a draw has been inside the Franklin zone. Draw one by Indy. Camden Rumo, left wing, left point, across to Ben Howard. Howard shot over the net. Puck comes to the near side. Matt Yurjevich beats Hoverson to it, taps it past Rumo, and Yurjevich, he left it behind him. If he controlled, he might have been in a breakaway. Gavin Akers will dump it into the Indy zone. Puck on the far boards and cleared out. Here's Wyatt Lutkins into the Franklin zone. Going to the left wing side. Carrying to the front of the net, and his backhander went across the front of the net. Now the puck out at center. Camden Rumo going to track it down. Rumo, right wing side of the Franklin zone. Couldn't get it past Aiden Murphy. Murphy tried to clear, held in at the right point. Rhett Gordon off to Rumo. Rumo at the left point. Moving down the left wing, they're telling him to shoot. He does. It's off the stick of Murphy and into the netting above the glass. 57 seconds left in the power play for Indy. 7:32 to go in the second. Still 6-0 Franklin. Draw to the right of Darby. Hudson Loesch, sending the puck around to the far boards. And then sending it towards his own net. And a shot stopped by Darby on Hoverson was Michael Mannion. He tried to drop it back, but he sent it towards his own net and allowed Hoverson to get the shot away, and Mannion had to make Darby to make the save. Mannion carries it back into the Indy zone. Now here's McLean Butters going, and then a shot score. He roofs it. And we're on the running clock. A short-handed goal for Franklin to make it 7-0 with 7:03 left in the second and 28 seconds to go on the power play for Indy. So Darby makes a save in tight. On Ryan Hoverson, and that turns into a shorthanded goal for Franklin at the other end. Puck out at center on the far side, Michael Mannion. Puck back in the Indy zone, offside warning against McLean Butters. That's canceled out as Indy get it out. Landrick Majewski tried to put it in front for Torrin Kimball, stolen away by Mannion. Penalty time against Franklin is up. They're back at even strength. Puck out on the far boards, Kimball. Now Dylan Rosardi, right wing corner. Wanted to put it out in front, hit a Franklin skate. Hudson Loesch at center. Now McLean Butters back into the Indy zone on the right wing. Trying to put it out in front for Loesch, and his shot is stopped and covered up. And why did they stop the clock? It's a 7-goal lead. It's supposed to be running. When you're up by 7, they're supposed to run the clock. It's at any point in the game. At any point in the game, if you're up by 7, you're supposed to be running the clock. Ref, they're supposed to be, okay. They're supposed to be running the clock because they're up by 7. There's a penalty against Franklin. Nolan Larrabee in the box, so Indy back to the power play. I got to stop the clock on the game tracker and reset it. Puck back in the Indy zone. Rumo in the slot. Puck knocked off his stick. Rhett Gordon with it now. High slot. They're telling him just shoot it. Drops it back up to the right point. Ryan Hoverson, who gives it away to Aiden Murphy, who clears. Puck sent out to center, and a chance now for Wyatt Lutkins, right wing side of the Franklin zone. Oh, but he whipped in the shot going to the net. It still came on goal, and Darby had to knock it away with a stick. But Wyatt Lutkins with a great chance to get Indy on the board, and he whiffed. Lutkins now at the inboards with now 50 seconds left in the power play. Puck fumbles away from the stick of Gordon. Now a shot from Camden Rumo is blocked. Gavin Akers tried to clear. Rumo keeps it alive. Shot missed the net to the right of Darby. Puck out at center. Rumo's going to get to it with now 30 seconds left in the period. 30 seconds left in the man advantage for Indy. We still have 4.5 minutes left in the second. Landrick Majewski for Rumo, a shot. Oh, it's in! Snuck in under Darby. Darby could not put the leg down in time. And Rumo has put Indy on the board and killed off the running clock for now. It's 7-1 Franklin with 4:27 to go in the second. Draw one by Indy. Landrick Majewski, right wing side of the Franklin zone. A shot steered away by Darby. Marchie. Now Quinn Spencer passing up the far boards. Nolan Larrabee had it hop over his stick. Comes back to him. He clears. Torrin Kimball. Cross corner dump in back into the Franklin zone. Quinn Spencer with it. Backhanding it out to center. Sent back in by McAllister, but all 4 of his teammates were offside. Puck is going to end up being iced by they wave it off. Puck put out in front and off a stick and out to center. Quinn Spencer ahead for Larrabee. Knocked away from him. Spencer trying to pass it back up the far wall. Here is Evan McAllister. Puck back in the Indy zone. Here is Ryder McDonald. Braden Sizapaniak. Oh, almost falling over, trying to bring it into the Franklin zone. Then he does fall over, but he'd already lost the puck. I think it was Quinn Spencer whose shot was blocked. Yes, it was. Puck back at center, just past the blue line. Now Dylan Rosardi back into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. Puck knocked off his stick by Brody Marchie. Puck on the far boards. Marchie sending it around to the near side. Ryder McDonald trying to send it back down. Puck at the inboards. Marchie behind the net. Trying to send it around. It went off of Patton, and then he gives it away to Cole Pointer. Pointer. Now Grant Hayes, left wing side of the Indy zone. Goes around the back of the net. Puts it out in front. And unable to score, I think, was Pointer. Yes, it was Pointer. Owen McGroarty passing out left circle. A shot turned away by Grayson, and then a rebound. Shot past the net. Both of those came from Pointer. Here's Pointer again in the left wing corner. McGroarty. Puck in front. Score! It's Pointer with his second. He's put us back in the running clock to make it 8-1 Franklin with 2 minutes left in the second. Draw one by Indy. Puck brought into the Franklin zone, but Ben Howard forced the outside, put it in front. Rumo trying to get it away from Josh Yurjevich, but Yurjevich keeps it away from him. Puck on the far side. Trying to clear it out was McGroarty, but he put it off the skates of Rumo, so it's still in the Franklin zone. Josh Yurjevich with it. Tried to clear it out. Knocked down to the blue line and kept alive by Rumo. Sends it over to the far side. Yurjevich ahead to Pointer, who clears. Puck back in the Indy zone. Here's McLean Butters. Now Josh Yurjevich. Yurjevich on the right wing, trying to put it in front, but it's intercepted. Comes over to Ben Howard, who clears. Last minute of the second. And Howard ices it as the clock's still running. 50 seconds and ticking left in the second. Franklin up 8-1. Draw be to the right of catcher Grayson. Puck goes past the net. Hoverson with it. 30 seconds left in the period. Michael Mannion, I think, behind the net. Yes, it is. He carries it out to the right wing side. Tried to pass it up top, intercepted and carried out by Camden Rumo, who has it taken away by Aiden Murphy. Brought back into the Indy zone and sent in deep. Puck out at center. It's back in the Franklin zone. Gavin Akers passing it across. Time's going to run out on the second. As Franklin scores 6 goals here in the second. Camden Rumo got Indy on the board, but it was already 7-0 Franklin by that point. So it's 8-1 Admirals. Guy Brooks is not very happy with So now we're waiting on the Nolensville Outlaws final. Catcher Grayson will remain in goal for Indy. Karen Darby still in goal for Franklin. For this third period, Franklin will carry the puck from my left to right and Indy from my right to left. As the third period is underway. Landrick Majewski, right wing side of the Franklin goal, passing over to Torrin Kimball, and it taken away as he was in the slot. Now here is Michael Mannion, right wing side of the Indy zone. Past the defender, but knocked down from behind by Rhett Gordon. Puck comes on goal, stopped and covered up by catcher Grayson. Draws to the left of Grayson. One by Franklin. Puck carried to the net. Shot off the left leg pad of Grayson from Michael Mannion. Quinn Loesch, who has a goal, trying to put it out in front. Hit the body of A.J. Novak. Aiden Murphy sending it back deep. Here's Torrin Kimball. Passing to Rhett Gordon at center. Gordon in the Franklin zone, and the puck poked away. Kimball in the slot. Moving down, a shot, score! Kimball glances it in off the inside of the right-hand post, and that kills the running clock again. It is 8-2 Franklin with 12:44 to go in this one. And I'll say it again. I think the running clock, I think it should be like college roller hockey. Once you go up by 7, the running clock is permanent. I mean, because Franklin have run Indy roughshod. They went up 7-0 before the halfway point of the game as Brandon Mills with a shot that's turned away by catcher Grayson. Casper Thurston backhanding it up to the blue line. Quinn Spencer with a shot, tried to get it to Matt Yurjevich in front. Puck cleared out by Indy. Here's Ben Howard, left wing side of the Franklin zone. Try to pass across to Camden Rummo, but it was lifted into the air, knocked down by Quinn Spencer, and he is able to bring it out to center. Here's Brandon Mills. Over to Brody Marchie. Marchie driving it back to Matt Yurjevich inside the Indy zone. Now the puck over on the near side. Brandon Mills. Behind the net, Casper Thurston. Put it out in front, oh, but Yurjevich was too far behind it. And there was nothing between he and Grayson either. Puck behind the net again. Hoverson. Now out on the far boards. Ben Howard. Backhanding it ahead to Rummo at center, but it went off Rummo's stick. Marchie falls over with it. And then Ben Howard drops his stick, trying to carry it back into the Franklin zone. Puck is in the Franklin zone. It's on the far boards. Here is Marchie. Ahead to Matt Yurjevich. Yurjevich back in the Indy zone. Got around a defender, but he was forced to go to the outside. He almost had a wraparound. He had the far side of the net open, but Ryder McDonald put the stick down and blocked that. Now a shot from up high. Stopped by Grayson. Oh, and Nolan Larrabee looked like he was going to score on the rebound, but it went to the crease. Now Matt Yurjevich in front of shot. Stopped point blank by Grayson. Oh, and then Larrabee puts the puck through the crease. Past the right-hand side of the net. Josh Yurjevich out high, a shot turned away by Grayson. And the puck out at center. Here is Hudson Loesch. Passing up the far side. Matt Yurjevich. It's in the Indy zone. Yurjevich off to Larrabee in the slot. A shot off the right leg pad of Grayson. And he covers up in the crease. 9:45 to go. Franklin up 8-2. The Outlaws beat Nolensville 9-7. Wow. So the Outlaws collect their first win of the season. Here's A.J. Novak with a shot. Oh, tipped up into the air right as it got towards the net, came down in front of the net, was cleared away from the Franklin net. Now Hudson Loesch sending it back into the Indy zone. Oscar Dubon across to A.J. Novak, ahead to Landrick Majewski at center. Majewski, right wing side of the Franklin zone, sending it towards the net, but intercepted by Hudson Loesch, and he'll bring it out. Loesch back into the Indy zone on the right wing, taking a shot. I think it went off a stick and over the net. Owen McGroarty. McGroarty passing across, intercepted by Rhett Gordon on the far side, but then he coughs it up at center to McGroarty. McGroarty chips it back into the Indy zone. Puck is behind the net. McGroarty passing it out in front, intercepted by Camden Rummo. Rummo through center into the Franklin zone, drops it back. Rhett Gordon, a shot, turned away by Darby. Rebound ended up behind the net. Puck cleared out. Now here is Grant Hayes bringing it back into the Indy zone. Try to go across. Michael Minion slot. Oh, he whiffed on the shot. And now here is Rummo. Oh, almost losing it at center to Cole Pointer. Now Ben Howard back in the Franklin zone on the left wing side. Shot was blocked. Puck behind the net. Now it's out on the near side, picked up by Michael Mannion. Mannion brings it back into the Indy zone on the left wing side. Got a 2-on-1. Oh, but great back checking by Ryan Hoverson to poke the puck away from him as he was trying to maneuver to the net. Puck out on the near boards. Camden Rummo tried to clear. Grant Hayes keeping it alive. And now here's Wyatt Lutkins, left wing side of the Franklin zone. A shot, score! Wyatt Lutkins fires the puck into the back of the net from the left circle to make it 8-3 Franklin with 7:10 to go. Here's Michael Mannion in the Indy zone, going to the net. Oh, stopped by catcher Grayson. Now, puck out on the far side in the Franklin zone. Bryson Patton had it poked off his stick. Now here's McLean Butters back through center. Into the Indy zone on the right wing side. Butters behind the net, backhands it out in front, and it went under the stick of Michael Mannion. Back the other way goes Bryson Patton. Patton back in the Franklin zone, puck tapped out. Braden Sizapaniak dumps it back in. Here's Rhett Gordon bringing it back in from center on the right wing side. Puck cleared out. Now Quinn Loesch dumping it back into the Indy zone. Franklin changing some of the line. A.J. Novak. Pass ahead, knocked down by Matt Yurjevich, but Oscar Dubon. Oh, and it taken off him by Mills. Mills getting it down. Yurjevich in front of shot, score. He's got a hat trick. It looked like Oscar Dubon was going to get the puck out, but he had it poked away, and Yurjevich turns it into a hat trick to make it 9-3 Franklin with 5:24 to go. Here's Brandon Mills now, trying to set up Yurjevich for a fourth, but that was broken up. Puck out at center, but it gets away from Kimball. However, we have a high sticking call against the Admirals. Draw is to the right of Darby, won by Franklin, but turned over to Indy and kept inside the zone. Puck on the near boards, cleared out. Here's Matt Yurjevich, left wing side of the Indy zone, to the net. Oh, Torrin Kimball snuck in from behind and kind of, I think, slapped his stick. Kept him from getting the shot off. Puck passed up the far boards. Yurjevich with a deflection back into the Indy zone. He was past the red line to kill any icing call. Camden Ramos passed to Wyatt Lutkins, went off a stick. Still came to Lutkins, who dumps it back in the Franklin zone from center. Puck out on the far side. Ramo with a steal, is shot over the net. Here's Brandon Mills putting it out in front. Oh, Rhett Gordon scores! Backhands it into the roof of the net to make it 9-4 Franklin. Man, if Indy were able to get in tight this early in that first period on Garen Darby, it might be a lot closer than 9-4. 4:07 to go. Puck sent back into the Indy zone from center by Aiden Murphy. Puck cleared out. Now it's back in the Franklin zone. Murphy ahead but stolen away and sent back into the Franklin zone by Rumo. Now here is Wyatt Lutkins. Lutkins a shot. Oh, he hit the post to the left of Darby. Puck on the far side. Score! Ben Howard. Indy have scored 4 goals in this third period, and now they're down 9-5 with 3:24 to go. Indy, I think all 5 of Indy's goals have been scored by someone different. I don't think anybody has 2 goals for them. Puck back in the Indy zone. Owen McGroarty with a backhander hit the bottom bar on the outside of the near side of the net. Puck behind the net. Grant Hayes comes out to the left wing. And now here's Ben Howard out at center again into the Franklin zone on the right wing side. Howard with a shot that hits something and goes into the netting above the glass. 2:40 to go. Franklin up 9-5. Puck out at center. Brought back into the by Rhett Gordon. Puck taken away and cleared by Brody Marchie. It's back in the Indy end. Ryan Hoverson going to chase it down. Franklin, we're up 2-0. As McLean Butters trying to put it out in front for Michael Mannion. Broken up by Torrin Kimball. Puck coming back towards the net, but Ryan Hoverson picks it up. Franklin, we're up 2-0 at the end of 1. But then they scored 5 before the halfway point of the second. Camden Rumo got Indy on the board, but then Franklin made it 8-1. And it was 8-1 at the end of 2 as a shot from Indy misses the Franklin net. Here's Landry Majewski, a shot blocked by Nolan Larrabee. Michael Mannion gets it back into the Indy zone. Now Torrin Kemble. Kemble, right wing corner of the Franklin zone, trying to put it out in front. Darby slows it down and it is cleared out. Yeah, like I said, if this Indy attack had been this good early on in the game, it'd be a lot closer than 9-5. Puck out on the far side of the Franklin zone, Indy zone. Michael Mannion, right circle, shot stopped by catcher Grayson. He pulls in the rebound and covers as we've started the final minute of the game. 57.9 seconds left. Franklin up 9-5, and a timeout has been called by Indy. So Indy are going to burn their timeout here. Caleb Kuhn had 4 goals in the Outlaws' win against Nolensville, as they win that game 9-7. So the Outlaws get their first win of the season. Unfortunately, they gave up 7 goals in doing it. I don't really like their chances of getting into that top 2 in Tier 2 and being able to play in that round robin. But then again, we don't know how the rest of Tier 2 is because 4 teams don't play until next week. Here is Lutkins, left wing side of the Franklin zone. Trying to send the puck towards the net. Hudson Loesch with a steal, clearing it away. Loesch getting it around to the near side. And they try to get the puck to Romo, but it went off his skate and it's cleared out. Under 30 seconds to go. Casper Thurston, right wing side of the Indy zone, shoots it past the net. Romo. And the puck went off the stick of Matt Yurjevich. It was a high stick, and it's touched up, I think, by his little brother Josh, and that brings a whistle with 10 seconds to go. Franklin up 9-5, so the Admirals are going to have a win and 2 draws after their first 3 games, while Indy are going to be 0-3. And I believe their next game is against Brentwood 2 weeks from tonight. Draws to the left of Darby. Won by Mason Brooks, and Brooks going to the Franklin net, and he scores. Mason Brooks scores to make it 9-6 Franklin with just 0.2 seconds to go. And they drop the puck, and that's it. Franklin get their first win of the season and move to 1 win and 2 draws, collecting 4 points out of a possible 6 from their first 3 games. While Indy dropped to 0-3 as they lose 9-6, but it was not that close. They were down 7-0 near the halfway point of the game. And now they are in danger of having to play in that round robin. They have 4 games left. I think if they win at least 2, I think they'll get out of it. But It's going to be a tall task, especially because they still have to play Brentwood. And they still have to play Centennial. They still have to play Mount Juliet. I don't know. I'm going to go look at the score sheet. So the goals for Indy were from 6 different players. Camden Ramo, Wyatt Lutkins, Torrin Kemble, Rhett Gordon, Ben Howard, and Mason Brooks. For Franklin, a hat trick for Matt Yurjevich, 2 goals from Cole Pointer, Hudson Loesch had a goal, McLean Butters, Grant Hayes, and I can't remember who else. But Matt Yurjevich is player of the game as Franklin win 9-6. Now I'm going to go check over the USN Summit score. USN beat Summit Page 6-2 to move to 2-0. I got to wait on my internet here. I need ad blocker on. Stupid thing. And let me just look one more time at the score sheet from the Outlaws Nolensville game. (9-7). Outlaws win 9-7. So the final scores from tonight: Ravenwood beat Centennial 9-3. The Outlaws beat Nolensville Ensworth Lipscomb 9-7. USNBA Nashville Christian beat Summit Page 6-2. And just now Franklin-BGA beat Indy 9-6. So 3 teams scored 9 goals tonight. So here are the standings after tonight. Ravenwood leading in Tier 1 at 2-0. Franklin now go to second with a win and 2 draws. Brentwood third with a win and a draw. MBA at 1-0 in fourth. Pope Prep CPA GCA and Mount Juliet Green Hill Lebanon both with a draw after just 1 game. Those 2 won't play again until October 17th. Centennial with the loss, now with 2 wins and a draw in Indy at the bottom of Tier 1 at 0-3. On to Tier 2, USNBA Nashville Christian at 2-0. Nolensville Ensworth Lipscomb now at 1-1. Summit Page and the Outlaws now both at 1-2. Summit placed ahead of the Outlaws because they beat them last Wednesday on the tiebreaker. Hendersonville Beach, Father Ryan, Rutherford Rampage, and Station Camp Liberty Creek all still sitting at the starting line, but they'll get off it next week. Next Wednesday, 2 games only next week, both on Wednesday, both back-to-back, both here on Rink A, both on MTSN. Once the page loads, I'll give it to you. (7:10). Station Camp Liberty Creek taking on Rutherford Rampage. Will be on the air at 7 o'clock. And then at 8:40, Hendersonville Beach taking on Father Ryan. We'll start coverage at 8:30. Again, those are the only 2 games in GNASH next week. And then after that, we're hitting hard these last 4 weeks. The next 4 weeks after that, we're hitting hard to finish out this first phase of the regular season. So that's it for us this evening. As in both of our games tonight, the winning team scored 9 goals. Ravenwood beat Centennial 9-3. And just now, Franklin-BGA beat Independence 9-6, and now 3/4 of the league go on fall break. And the other quarter of the league finally gets off the starting line next week, and we'll have both those games for you here on MTSN. I am Michael Hackney. I got to play the music because it's the last game. It's the last game of the week. I forgot about that. This time of the season is always weird when we have to give credence to the team's fall breaks. But some of them are going to get an extended break next month when we go into that tier switch round robin. Again, our final scores in the air tonight: Ravenwood 9, Centennial 3, and just now Franklin-BGA 9, Independence 6. Again, we'll talk to you next Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, right back here at Centennial. Station Camp, Liberty Creek, and Rutherford Rampage up first, then Hendersonville Beach taking on Father Ryan after that. I'm Michael Hackney. Have a great rest of your week and great weekend, and we'll talk to you again 7 days from tonight.